All right, at this time, we'd like to call the meeting to order. Could you please stand to salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jamie, can you please read the Sunshine Statement?
Be advised that proper notice has been given by the Township Council in accordance with the Sunshine Law in the following manner. Notice advertised in the Burlington County Times and Camden Carrier Post on January 7th, 2021, and posted on the bulletin board on the same date. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Jenny?
Here.
Ms. Pareo? Here. Mr. Lyon?
Here.
Mr. Burrell?
Here. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Just a couple quick housekeeping before we get started with today's lengthy agenda. We have a jam-packed night filled with us, but just for reference for the order of events for tonight, we'll have three proclamations and then swearing in of our officers. We'll start off with Deb Hammond from the Green Team proclamation, Bill Kersey from the Green Team and his proclamation, followed by the first responders who responded to the Garden Club fire, as well as swearing in our three patrolmen, one who's been with the force for quite some time now, and two brand new officers. And the most important part of tonight is honoring our former chief as well. So that'd be great. So with that, without further ado, I'll turn the meeting now over to the mayor, who will conduct those proclamations, and ask council to join him on the floor.
folks, they can see you. This is William Kersey. Bill. Well, it's too bad. It says William on the chamber. The proclamation reads, whereas William Kersey has displayed great passion and dedication to the improvement of the environment, and whereas William Kersey served as the Delran Environmental Advisory Committee and as a registered Rutgers Elementary steward, ultimately assisting with the formation of the Rutgers Environmental Stewards Alumni Association. I'll get that in a second. Whereas William Kersey has approached Delran Township with the idea of Sustainable Jersey program, and shortly thereafter, on April 23rd, 2013, Delran Township passed a resolution to register with Sustainable New Jersey. And whereas on February 11th, 2014, William Kersey was appointed chairman of the newly established Green Team for the Township of Delran. Whereas during that time as Green Team chairman, William Kersey educated the public on making the environment better, created campfire chats and later sustainable sips with local experts on a variety of topics focusing on the environment. And whereas William Kersey led Delran Township's Green Team to achieve Sustainable Jersey Bronze certification in December of 2015, considered by Green Team peers, state government, and environmental experts and civic organizations in New Jersey to be among the leading communities in the state. And whereas William Kersey has been an active member in this community for over 50 years, whereas in June of 2021, William Kersey resigned from the Delran Green Team after many successful and productive years as leader and a member. Now, therefore, be it declared on this day, July 6, 2021, by Gary Patronbone, Mayor of Delran Township, on behalf of the entire council and the citizens we serve, do hereby recognize and commend the professionalism and dedication of William Call Me Bill Kersey for his dedication to the Township of Delran, the Delran Green Team, and the environment, and for his commitment to leading and coordinating the sustainability activities of our community. We extend our appreciation and a special thank you for being a role model to all present and future residents of Delran.
You can see I'm actually the visible head of the organization. It's people like Deb Hammond who really pushed me for the bronze, and Clark, Sue, and others, and the Green Team. They were all with teams, a team effort. As I say, I called the meeting to order. After that, it rolled along because I like to delegate, and it worked out real well. Thank you very much.
Everybody still with us? Okay. These are a little more serious. Not that those weren't serious, they were more fun. So, we have two proclamations that I'm going to read as one. They both read the same. And again, as we go out throughout the evening, if for any reason I mispronounce a name, please excuse me. Our next proclamation, let's bring up Rayma Diaz. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, coming up. And Diana Beato. I'll read the proclamation. Whereas the Delran Emergency Squad plays an essential role in providing life-saving measures to those in need in our community every day. And whereas on May 27th, 2021, the Delran Township Fire Department, the Delran Township Police Department, and the Delran Emergency Squad were dispatched to a report of a building fire located at the Garden Club condominiums on Natalie Road. And whereas upon arrival, multiple units of the 3-story condominium were found engulfed in flames with heavy smoke and high heat conditions extending into living quarters, the roof area, and blocking stairwell exits. And Whereas the Delran Emergency Squad Emergency Medical Technician Diana Bayada and Emergency Medical Technician Raymond Diaz assisted with the successful evacuation of victims of the fire and attended to the medical needs of victims, as well as provided rehabilitation tents for the Delran Fire Department. And whereas due to the quick and effective actions of the members on scene from the Delran Township Fire Department, Delran Police Department, and Delran Emergency Squad, all the victims were rescued within 10 minutes of the first unit arriving on scene. Now therefore, let it be proclaimed on this day, July 6, 2021, I, Gary Katzenbone, Mayor of Delran Township, on behalf of the entire council and the citizens we serve, do hereby recognize and commend the bravery, compassion, and exemplary conduct of EMT Diana Bayada and EMT Raymond Diaz in the administering of outstanding emergency medical care to residents and firefighters, resulting in the best possible outcome for everyone. You want to smile? Thank you. So we have next a number of people that we're going to bring up, but before we get started with that, I'd like to mention all the folks that have provided mutual aid. For those folks that are not familiar with that term, those would be the other first responders from various towns in the area that come and do their part to help us and help our emergency responders to do that. My understanding is that there will be another presentation on the county level for those folks, but they were kind enough to, again, give mutual aid, and I would ask any of those first responders in the room to please stand. I see some folks from Riverside and from some other towns. Please, I know there's some Riverside, I saw them earlier. Don't be shy. You run into burning buildings, come on up and stand up.
I wasn't working that night.
Already dead. So I would ask, we're gonna have a full house, so I would ask everyone to come on up. I guess we could bring them all up right now. We'll take a half step forward, and I'll ask council to just bear with us. Chief Kevin Peak, if you would come up, Deputy Chief Joseph Cunningham Sr., Captain Joseph Cunningham Jr., Firefighter Henry Caraballo, Jeff Gennard, Matthew Heisler, Morgan Schaefer, probationary firefighters Jeff Gennard Jr. and Congo John. We'd also ask at this time Patrolman Ryan Matthews, Patrolman John Shepard, and Patrolman Christopher Claudius to come on up. Did we miss anybody that was supposed to announce? I think we got everybody. Wow. Here's the proclamation. Whereas the Delran Fire Department and Delran Police Department serve an essential role in the protection of lives and property in the Township of Delran every day. Whereas on May 27th, 2021, the Delran Township Fire Department, Delran Police Department, and Delran Emergency Squad were dispatched to a report of a building fire at the Garden Club condominiums on Natalie Road. And whereas upon arrival, multiple units of the 3-story condominium were found engulfed in flames and heavy smoke in high heat conditions extending into living quarters, the roof area, and blocking stairwell exits. Whereas at the direction of Chief Kevin Peak, firefighting personnel consisting of Deputy Chief Joseph Cunningham Sr., Captain Joseph Cunningham Jr., firefighters Henry Caraballo, Jeff Kennard, Matthew Heisler, Morgan Schaefer, and probationary firefighters Jeff Kennard Jr. and Daniel Jung were ordered to attack the fire and to assist in the rescue of 7 trapped occupants, including a mother and her 6-month-old infant who sought refuge on their balconies. And whereas police personnel consisting of Patrolman Ryan Matthews, Patrolman John Shepard, and Patrolman Christopher Klodges assisted the Delran Fire Department with the evacuation of additional victims trapped in a stairwell by flames and smoke. And whereas, due to the quick and efficient actions of the members on scene from the Delran Township Fire Department, the Delran Police Department, and the Delran Emergency Squad, all the victims were safely rescued within 10 minutes of the first unit arriving on the scene. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this day, July 6, 2021, I, Gary Catherine, Mayor of Delran Township, on behalf of the entire council and the citizens we serve, do hereby recognize and commend the bravery, quick action, and exemplary conduct of Chief Kevin Peak, Deputy Chief Joseph Cunningham Sr., Captain Joseph Cunningham Jr., firefighters Henry Caraballo, Jeff Kennard, Matthew Heisler, Morgan Schaefer, probationary firefighters Jeff Kennard Jr., Angel Jung, and the police officers Ryan Matthews, John Shepard, and Christopher Klodges, resulting in the best possible outcome for everyone involved. Sir, you have plenty of opportunities for pictures. Henry? Here you go. Guys. Jeff? I don't know. Heather has the rest. John. There you go. We'd have been here till Wednesday if we did them one at a time. Christopher? There you go. All right, now, I'm going to come right in here between the white shirts. Look at these guys. And let's take some pictures. Got it. Here we go. Thank you so much. We can give them an upside round of applause. At this time, I'd like to invite Assemblywoman Carol Murphy and Assemblyman Dr. Herb Conaway, who also happens to be our own County Commissioner of Health. And they're going to be here as we bring up our former chief, Alfonso Parente. Al. You know, Al loves to be in front of a big crowd. All the police are laughing. They know that's not the case. So I'm going to do this as quickly as possible. All right, and then we have another presentation. All right, stay right here.
You don't need to stand in front of you.
That's okay.
Why don't you come on, you just- There we go. Here's the proclamation. Whereas on January 24th, 1991, Alfonso Parente was appointed to the position of police officer for Delran Township by Chief Art Saul. And whereas on September 10th, 1999, Alfonso Parente was promoted to the position of sergeant, and shortly thereafter on May 7th, 2002, was promoted to the position of lieutenant. And whereas on May 21st, 2004, Alfonso Parente was promoted to the position of police chief by Mayor Joseph Stelwag, and after serving 17 years as chief, is recognized as the longest tenured police chief in Burlington County. And whereas Chief Parente served as a member of the Burlington County Chiefs Association, the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association, and the International Association of Chiefs of Police, and the FBI National Academy Association. Whereas Chief Parente took an oath when he was hired to faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office, and continue to uphold that oath for 30 years. And whereas Chief Parente retired on March 31st, 2021, from the position of Chief of Police of Delran Township, and is being honored by family, friends, and co-workers who were deeply appreciative of his many contributions and his friendship. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed on this day, July 6, 2021, I, Gary Packerman, Mayor of Delran Township, on behalf of the entire Township Council and the citizens we serve, do hereby congratulate Chief Alfonso Parente on his retirement. We extend our sincere appreciation and gratitude to Chief Parente for his commitment to the public safety of our community. The Township of Delran has been most fortunate to have a person of Chief Parente's capabilities and devotion serving them for 3 decades. We wish Chief Parente a long, happy, healthy retirement with his family and the very best in his future. Chief. You want to say a few words? You would. Wait, before you do that, I have another something.
Chief, in lieu of all the warehouses and all that, which, you know, we do again, we get 2 of us talking, so I don't know which is worse, both of us talking or the radio. But as a representative of the state of New Jersey, myself, and on behalf of some of the colleagues here who will come back and say a few words to you, and Troy Singleton, we want to recognize your contributions to keeping our state safe, whether it was Delran, whether it was as chief, or through all of the services that we've done. No words and nothing on paper can ever say thank you the way that we want to show our appreciation, not only to you, but to all of your force. With that, we want to present to you a state resolution on behalf of ourselves, signed by the General Speaker and Senate President Steve Sweeney, which will forever live under the gold dome for your grandkids and great-grandkids and all them to search, to applaud you, say thank you for everything you've done, thank you for keeping us safe, and most importantly, we supported you and we support every single one of you in the days that you do. We hope that you have a great retirement. And personally, I look forward to the day I retire. So I can't wait for that to happen. So I do want to present this to you and turn it over to my colleague to speak with you as well. Thank you so much.
And it's a long career. A lot of people don't stay in their jobs that long, but it is a testament to your dedication to service. It's a privilege to do that, as I don't need to tell you. And we in this community, and even beyond this community, are fed for the fact that you were there leading the way and setting a legacy for those officers who follow you. And so thank you very much for your service on behalf of the people we too and our colleague Senator Singleton are privileged to represent, and say wish you a farewell. We know you're not going too far, but still, just thank you very much. We're better because you were here and doing the job you've been doing. Thank you. Congratulations.
I loved working with them, and I miss it every day. And I especially miss everybody that I used to work with. Thank you for this. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate it.
Just when you thought it was safe. We also have a presentation for you. some of which I think you might recognize. It's your badges and Very good. We'll put this here in bubble wrap.
Congratulations to the green team and to everybody who runs Short Trail. Thank you for all you do.
Jeff hired me in 1991, so I have to shake his hand.
I'm gonna ask you, nobody leave. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, just slide that over there. I need to know this one. So on the other side of that scale are some folks that are being sworn in this evening. The first of which is Patrolman Michael Lynch, who has actually been serving for over a year, but we wanted to have an opportunity for him to be sworn in front of friends and family and a big crowd. So this worked out really well. What? You have family? Would you like to have family? Would you do me a favor, stand right here? Hold this so you can put his left hand in the Bible and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Michael Lynch, do solemnly swear.
I, Michael Lynch, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of Patrolman of Delran Township Police Department
all the duties of Patrolman in Delran Township Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Really, what do you like? We're gonna need you, don't leave, Michael. We're gonna need you to swear this in before we're done. Not right now, but. Next, if we could have Patrolman Tyler Mallion. Family, wanna come up? Family can come up. Some are shy. Will you hold this one? Take pictures. Where are you? Come on over here. You okay? Yeah, we'll have some video. Yeah. Yeah, you deserve the video.
He got put on
They're first responders, not video. Repeat after me. I, Tyler Mallion,
I, Tyler Mallion,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform
impartially, and justly perform
all of the duties
all of the duties
of Patrolman of Delran Township Police Department
of patrolman of the Darien Township Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Very good. Christopher Gonzalez. Anybody else, family? Welcome to the club. Yes, please. Absolutely. Are you ready? Repeat after me. I, Christopher Gonzalez,
I, Christopher Gonzalez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of patrolman for the Delran Township Police Department
of patrolman of the Darien Township Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Feel the same way. It's okay. Christopher, if you could come up, Michael and Tyler. Christopher, you're here. Michael in the middle. Tyler, you can sign right here, sir. Make sure. Yeah, we didn't switch the document. So we go. It's everything. That'll be your fault. That was the answer. Okay. So in just a moment, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. Now, you're welcome to stay. There's no coverage charge. But if you've been warm all day, this is the place to be. There's an on and an off. Right now, the air conditioner is on. All right, we're very good. And I'll turn these back over to Tyler Burrell, our council president. Tyler.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for a 5-minute recess, please.
Motion? I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. We'll be back in 5.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sal, do I need a motion to come out of? Okay. No, okay, we don't need a motion, so we're all good. So at this time, I will be entertaining a motion to approve the minutes for the April 13th, 2021 action and work session meeting.
So moved.
Second.
And Jamie could call the roll, please.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. And next, I need a motion approving the minutes for the April 27th, 2021 action and work session meeting.
Motion. I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Abstain.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Can you guys just turn your mics off, like, unless you're voting, because Marlo isn't able to turn his on if we're all on.
Next up, I need a motion approving the minutes for the May 4th, 2021 public meeting.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
Second.
And Jamie, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The motion carries. The minutes are approved. Next, I have ordinances on second reading. These will require a public hearing. So I'll ask for a motion to open the floor for a public hearing on ordinance 2021-11. This is it's a bond ordinance.
So moved. Second.
And Jamie, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is now open for public comment on ordinance 2021-11 and that ordinance only. Any comment from the public regarding that ordinance? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to close the floor.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is now closed. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt on second reading ordinance 2021-11.
Motion. Second.
And Jamie, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The ayes have it, and the ordinance is adopted. And likewise, we have ordinance 2021-12. This is repealing the garage sale ordinance. This also requires a public hearing. I'll ask for a motion to open the floor for a public hearing.
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is now open for public hearing on ordinance 2021-12. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to close the floor.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. The floor is now closed. I'll entertain a motion to adopt ordinance 2021-12.
Motion. I'll second.
And Jamie, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The ayes have it, and the ordinance is adopted. Next, we have ordinance 2021-15, repealing portions of the construction code and replacing it to match the command of the state. So this is on first ordinance, so no public hearing is required, so I'll entertain a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Jamie, could you call the roll, please?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The ayes have it, and the ordinance, first reading is adopted. It will be on the next agenda for second. Next up, we have resolutions. Resolution 2021-1115. This award of various contracts for the sewer department. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion. I'll second.
Jamie, call the roll, please.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. Next up is resolution 2021-116, also awarding another contract for the sewer department.
So moved.
Second.
And Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The ayes have it. The resolution carries. Next, we have resolution 2021-117. That's yet again another award of a contract for the sewer department.
So moved. I'll second.
Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. And the motion carries and the resolution therein. Next, we have Resolution 2021-118. That's extending the contract with Flynn's Towing.
So moved. Second.
Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. The motion carries and the resolution passes. Next, we have our consent agenda. Before we begin, are there any objections to the items in the consent agenda? Seeing no objections, I'll ask for a motion to approve consent agenda, which contains resolutions 2021-19 all the way to resolution 2021-122. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion. I'll second.
Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. And the ayes have it. The consent agenda passes and the resolution therein. And next, we have a motion authorizing bills made under authorizing payment of bills, including all purchases made under the cooperative purchasing agreement.
So moved.
Second.
And Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye. Next, I have a motion accepting the report of the CFO, including the May year-to-date revenue report, year-to-date budget report, and May check register. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye, and the motion carries. Next, I need a motion to accept the report of the tax collector and the township clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Jamie?
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Jenny?
Aye.
Ms. Pareo?
Aye.
Mr. Lyon?
Aye.
Mr. Burrell?
Aye, the motion carries. And finally, we have our reports tonight. And as we always done, we have reports from our emergency services personnel first. I don't know if Chief or the Commissioner. As always, if you could just state your name for the record. Go ahead.
Kevin Keith, Delaware Fire Department Chief. Just a few things for operations purposes. The 28th of June, Rescue 2329 from the Station 2 on Chester Avenue. Went to the 300 block of Water Avenue in Delanco to assist with door removal in a motor vehicle accident. Two of our members at Station 2 on Chester Avenue Station, Cassie Bartoli and Gabrielle Lopez, completed the Firefighter 1 program and also received passing scores on their 2 exams. So they are now certified firefighters for Brown County. And just recently we were the members of the Delaware Fire Department appreciate all proclamations, the well wishes, good words, and everything else from the board.
Great. Well, thank you for all you guys do. And our Commissioner? Jim Bauer. Jim,
Thank you.
how are you?
I want to talk to you.
I graduated with him, so
John, Joe, and Mike were extremely dedicated people. Whether it was the middle of the night, Christmas, didn't matter. They put a lot of time in for a lot of years. So it's great to see that you can teach anybody to be a police officer, a firefighter, an EMT, but you can't teach dedication to the community and to the residents. So it's great that those guys were put on, and they'll continue their dedication. And as a resident, it's great to see that that's the type of people that you guys are putting on, because it'll keep the town the way the town should be at the residents. Thank you.
great. Thank you, and well said. Well said. Any other? Anyone else for good? Awesome. Great. And now Jamie Agers, our clerk. Anything?
No, I have no report tonight.
Great. Thank you, Jamie. And next up, our administrator, Jeffrey Hatcher. Jeff?
Couple of items. First of all, everybody knows the county has been having some difficulty with keeping up with the county recycling program. However, they have scheduled recycling pickup for tomorrow, the 7th. Anything that's not picked up on the 7th will take place on the 8th, so they will be in town. Secondly, the township received its first check from the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, also known as APR, the American Rescue Plan, in the amount of $863,096.90. And along with that, the state has just issued the regulations with respect to what it can be spent on. They're fairly restrictive, and I'm sure we'll be discussing that at a future work session. There was a pre-construction meeting last week in regard to the Conroe Road reconstruction project. The county needs 6 weeks to work on the bridge on Conroe. Once that's done, the road work will take place. We're going to have to coordinate probably with the school because of the 6 weeks that the county needs. It may run into the beginning of the school year. We were trying to avoid that. And finally, the 2021 road programs that were combined along with the traffic calming improvement project, bids are due July 21st. Once we receive those bids, we'll touch base with council and go from there. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Jeff. Next up, we have, if we didn't hear enough from him tonight, we have reports from our mayor, Mayor Katcherman.
Well, I have just one thing. I just want to once again congratulate everyone that received the proclamation this evening and thank all of our first responders who may not have been recognized tonight, but always do what others maybe aren't willing to do. So we thank them for that and remind you, in light of the fact that we were talking about the Garden Club fire, that the First United Methodist Church and the Resurrection Parish are both having food and non-food assistance to their food pantries, and with special consideration to the victims of the Garden Club fire while they're displaced. We encourage all residents to donate to either one of those food pantries. That's the First United Methodist Church or the Resurrection Parish while they are participating and handling the food drive. It's perishable, food and non-food assistance can be dropped off there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. And next up, we have a report from our solicitor, Sal Siciliano. Sal, anything? Thank you very much. And finally, reports from members of council. So we'll start off with, I'll go from right to left, my right to left. We have Councilman Marlo Smith. Councilman?
Yes, thank you very much. Just a couple quick things. Again, just wanted to recognize all the hard work and the good work that's been done by all of our first responders. Fantastic event tonight. It warmed my heart to see so many people out in person. So just kudos to all those folks from EMS, the fire department, police department that continue to keep our town safe. So thank you very much for that. Secondly, just also wanted to make mention of the fact that I did have the opportunity to go to a COVID-19 vaccination drive that we had over at Calvary Church, and Representative Andy Kim was there. And I just wanted to remind everyone, that the vaccines are available, for anyone that's 12 and up. Make sure you are getting the word out to family and friends that they can get them when they're readily available. The sooner we get everybody vaccinated, the more we can have fun like we had over the weekend with the 4th of July. So let's keep it going. End of report.
Great, thank you very much, Councilman. And next up, we have Councilman at Large, Lynn Jennings.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to echo Councilman Smith's comments. I think they were right on. And the only other thing I'd like to mention is to our residents of our community. We celebrated a lot of honorees tonight. Most of their families and compatriots were here. However, if you see any of our first responders, fire, police, EMS around town, don't be afraid to say hello. Don't be afraid to say thank you. Let them know you're thinking about them and you appreciate their service. It goes a long way towards helping them feel good about what they do. Thank you.
And thank you. And next up, we have Councilwoman Virginia Perea. Virginia?
Yes, I just really quickly want to thank the officers that were sworn in and the first responders for all that they do, and congratulations to them.
Great, thank you very much. And next up, we have Vice President of Council, Tom Lyon.
Thank you. Like to also congratulate the new officers. We don't get to talk till they all left the room, but I want to go on record and congratulating them. It's a big commitment. Also, the first responders, have a lot of respect for what they do, and it's an awesome commitment that they make for everything they do for our community. Also, congratulations to the other folks who got proclamations. I also want to speak on behalf of Commissioner O'Connell from the county. He's away on vacation. He would have been here this evening. He is the county liaison of public safety, police, fire, and EMTs. So he wanted to send his thanks and congratulations to everybody that was honored this evening. And he really sad he couldn't be here, but he is on vacation. I also was at the COVID-19 vaccination site at the church. It was really a nice event. I wasn't able to be there the first go round, but I did make the second, and they're very welcoming people, loving people, and people were coming in to get their vaccines. So it was a really nice event, and I thought that was great. Lastly, just want to touch on compassion and respect. Goes a long way when you're out there in this world. I hope we all can keep that in our minds, no matter what the situation, and just keep compassion and respect going in our community. That's it.
Thank you very much. And just want to echo from my report sentiments from my council members, congratulating the new officers who will be joining us, congratulating the first responders. Thank you guys for all you do, as everyone here has said, and congratulations to all those who are recognized tonight. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to open the floor to public comment.
I'll make a motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion carries. Our floor is now open to public comment. Anyone in the public, sure, come on up. Just state your name and address for the record.
James Bowery, 16 Edgewood Avenue. Councilman, I did take advantage of that COVID-19 shot that you guys did at the church. I signed up for the township webpage, so good job.
Great. Thank you very much. And Mayor, that was in conjunction with, Mayor, the COVID vaccine was in conjunction with Congressman's office?
Yes, it was actually, thanks for giving us credit, although we don't deserve any credit. It was the Congressman Kim and Rite Aid and the Calvary Church that actually put the event on. We were just helping to promote it. So thank you very much, Jim.
Glad it worked out.
Bob Gilbert, 75 Stewart Avenue, Delran. First, I'd like to congratulate the mayor and Mr. Burrell.
Thank you.
New faces I've never seen before. I know the young lady. One of the things that we had back here, she was back there with the other three gentlemen. I have no idea who you are. It's brought to my attention, I don't know if you're aware of it or not. I know you all do a lot for vets, but the governor's put out a thing, New Jersey Governor, we value our Veterans Award. And you get points. You have to get 145 out of 190 for the township. You already got a lot of them already because you got the thing out front. Y'all do the thing on Veterans Day when you have veterans come in and all that. They also have, it has been kind of crazy because the schools have been closed, but they have a thing where school speakers session composed of parents who are veterans. You get 15 points for that. For the Veterans Business Municipal website, you get 10 points. You provide parking for Purple Heart recipients or disabled veterans, you get another 15 points. But a whole veteran service organization meet and greet, another 15 points. You build up to, and this is just a small sample, they have a complete application. And then for businesses, they only have to get, what the heck is it? They only need 55 points. So you can, I don't know if you guys can reach out to other businesses in Delran Township. They only need 55 points to qualify for this award. And I guess you can post it wherever you would like to post it.
Great. And what's it called again?
It's called the New Jersey Governors We Value, I'm going to make a copy. New Jersey
Yeah, that'd be great.
Governors We Value Our Veterans Award. And there's a website, I can give you a copy, you can go to it. I got any copies there, anybody that wants one.
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look.
And it's been a long time. COVID's been crazy. I have not taken the shot. Don't intend to. I have too many medical problems. I've had 2 spares with prostate cancer, and now I'm going to have another little procedure done for colon cancer. So we love Agent Orange. It's a gift that keeps on giving. I'll be 70 next month. So every day I wake up, it's another good day. The only thing is, if I can get, I don't know who I can talk to, I'd like to get Congressman Andy Kim's phone number, if I can get it. I saw your little, well, it's not your project, the one down by the river, that Diane Allen's walkway thing. They're doing it down by, on River Drive.
The county bike project?
Trail project.
That's the county's project.
Trail project, sure.
I'm waiting for the first flood, it'll go into the water,
Okay.
so.
Great. Well, if you've leave that with us, we'll definitely take a look at
I
what.
got something for everybody, if anybody that wants.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
We'll definitely take it, and we can probably share it with, Lynn may have some connections with the business association. Maybe you can just share that with, some folks, and we'll get it out.
My Vietnam group is not gonna be able to hold a meeting still until end of September. We had our picnic in June out in Yardville, but we don't have meetings usually in July and August because of summer. So the next meeting we'll have will be in September, that's in Bordentown. The VFW is having a meeting this July 20th. So we're starting to get back, seeing people again, which is, it's kind of nice, but I'm an old grouchy fart. So I really don't care if I see a lot of people anyway. So, I just want to thank you for your time.
No problem.
And I'm looking forward, if everything goes right, that maybe we'll have the thing again on Veterans Day back here. And then we got to get somehow, I don't know if I can do it, go back to Delran High School and see if they're willing, because they had, with Patty Colodi, they had which she was teaching the class on Vietnam and stuff. And then Mr. Adams did it, and he's no longer at the school as far as I understand. So I don't know if they're still doing that as an elective course. So I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, or do you all have to do that, or what?
You would, I took that course. It's a great course. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I would recommend you reach out to the superintendent. He's fairly responsive to the public, and he'll definitely know. It's probably a part of their curriculum plan.
Yeah.
So that would be the best place to reach
And then,
out.
like I said, there's the other one in here that shows like, just to have a meet and greet with veterans, not with the school, but like with town council and stuff like that. I don't know how many veterans I know there's other veterans, but they're a lot older than I am even. You got a guy that is a Korean vet that may introduce me to the Vietnam veteran, because I was a member at large for a long time, didn't know there was a place around here. But in 2003, I joined the one in Bordentown. But I know there's other veterans, but I don't know too many of the Vietnam veterans in this area. All the guys I know, y'all know, 899 up in Bordentown, when you have a presentation for veterans, this place is packed with Vietnam veterans, so.
Yep.
All right, I thank you.
Great, thank you.
I'll come up and give you a copy of
You can leave it right there, or we can talk to you after the meeting, whatever you prefer. Great, thank you very much. And seeing there's nobody else here, any second chances? If not, I'll entertain I'll first ask for a motion to close the floor.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Those opposed, the motion carries, the floor is closed, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries.